What is up, everybody? So a number of years ago, Aaron wanted to get some apple fritters in the fall. And we thought, what about that orchard out past Kent, Ohio? So we rode out there, but they didn't end up having fritters, but what they did have was small pies. We all titled our ride Pie Ride on Strava, and then it just became a tradition that we've been doing ever since, having a pie ride every single year out to Beckwith Orchards. This year, we were heading to Missing Falls, downtown Akron first. We were meeting up with the Yeti group ride. They would be finishing there, so we went and got lunch, met up with our friends. We have our friend Ryan, who is in town, and then with Brad and Aaron, we're also going to be joining us, and Ben as well. So Aaron and I came through the towpath into downtown, got our lunch, and met up with everybody. Let me know if you and your friends do anything like this down below, if you start like a little tradition and then just stick to it just for the sake of doing it for the most part. I mean, it's fun to ride your bike out and get pies, so not a bad tradition at all. As you can see, our July weather is continuing into October. It's been absolutely crazy. I think on this day it probably hit 80. I know the day before I was shooting a homecoming tailgate for the university and I was out in the sun all day and I got cooked. So after getting our lunch, having a beer, and chatting with the people from Dirty River Bicycle Works Yeti Ride, we were heading out. We rode out through downtown, cut up through campus, and then picked up the Freedom Trail, pretty much a flat, straight rail trail between Akron and Kent. I always like this quiet little path through the university, too. It's just this short sidewalk, but all of a sudden it just feels like you're in a little bit of a different zone. So we kind of went directly there on the way out, just down the Freedom Trail as mentioned, and then we transferred in Kent over to the Portage County Hike and Bike. But after we had our pies and everything on the way back, we decided to hit a little bit of the woods and some dirt cuts out towards Kent, and then also once we got back towards Cuyahoga Falls. So we cut through here on these dirt cuts. There's also a bunch of off-road riding you can do back in this area. This area was once the largest rail yard between New York and Chicago, but now it's mostly all overgrown with trees. But it keeps the ground underneath really hard packed from when it must have been just concrete or whatever they had laid down for all the different tracks from back in the day. You can actually ride it almost right after it rains because it's just so packed. We decided to make a stop at Bent Tree Coffee. Everyone wanted to get a couple drinks, and while Beckwith Orchards is really great for apples and snacks, their coffee leaves a lot to be desired. So we broke off the hike and bike here to hit some more of the unofficial trails. There are these dirt trails that cut along the Cuyahoga River through Cuyahoga Falls. We've hit them a number of times. You'll see someone walking dogs out there and stuff like that here and there, so you do keep your eyes out a little bit. But in general, there's not a ton of people back here. Stop at the Doodlebug Memorial. It commemorates the worst train wreck in Cuyahoga Falls' history. So that was Pie Ride 2025. And don't tell anyone, but I actually bought a apple dumpling instead of a pie this year. So if you like this kind of content, consider becoming a channel member if you want to support us. But at the least, just give this video a like. You made it this far. It really helps the channel out, helps it to spread to people who you think might enjoy it as well. I will see you in the next video. Thanks as always for watching. Peace.